Hi, Chloe. When are you going to have a point?
At the end, Jova.
I mean, sure, she's nice and all, but I'm not really getting the...
Oh, yeah.
Aside from pointing out the painfully obvious, and yes, that's a nice...
I'm guessing that's the
There we go, sorry, Jova. That's the connection to Detroit. Detroit was used as an underground railroad for slaves. That's the connection.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's the one.
More historical trivia. I mean, I get it and all, but come on.
Don't worry, Jova. Believe it or not, Chloe has her own mini-plot that she's gonna have throughout the game.
And by that, you mean every time we come into the welcome screen?
Yes.
Pretty much.
You'll see. You'll see. Let's just say David has plans for
Hello,
her.
Connor.
Don't get me wrong.
Did you know that androids were invented by an android?
Don't get me wrong. I mean, Chloe's not bad per se, but it's really bad when you have to rely on the good plots regarding stuff that's going on in the flipping menu.
Find Amanda. What, Amanda off Saw?
Amanda Waller?
No. Amanda is the current head of CyberLife.
Hey, speaking of soreness, how's Game of Thrones going? I'm hearing that it's been going down in flames lately with the fan base.
Don't bother, Joe. Just read the books if you're curious. Also, there's a nice touch, since this is more like a simulation. If you have died in previous chapters with Connor, you can find tombstones relegated to the previous models that were assigned to the case and died.
Fascinating.
Fascinating, Captain.
But since Pedro has been a good boy and hasn't died yet, that's perfectly fine.
No. I never die. Even as Connor, I don't die in this playthrough.
So Connor dies. What you?
I'm telling you something that will not happen. That's not a spoiler.
So let me get this straight. So if Connor does die, you play as his replacement, essentially.
Yeah. But don't think you can exploit that eternally. Well, near the end, that trick will not be usable anymore.
See, the thing is, Joba, if the line of Connor detectives doesn't become useful and actually have fruits with their work, they'll just be discontinued and destroyed. So
interesting.
Not to mention, Hank will become more and more distrusting and visibly shocked by Connor.
Oh, Amanda is trusted, as the system shows, whatever the hell that means.
It's the think of it like the character relationships you see in Telltale games, like where.
Yeah.
Like I said, like X character will remember this.
I mean, that's nice. It's just that this is really the first time we ever see that whole trusted thing or what.
Basically,
we haven't. We have seen it first when we met Hank in the bar.
If you've been efficient with your job, Amanda will obviously be pleased with you.
Where by being nice to Hank, he went from hostile to neutral towards me. Try to pay attention, Jova.
Pedro, it didn't say trusted beforehand, though. I didn't know it was the same thing.
All right, then.
I mean, I'm not a moron, Jesus.
David, that's interesting considering that's what David Cage thinks you are.
Well, that's David Cage.
The biggest moron on the planet, or one of them.
I don't know. For as terrible as he is, I can think of bigger morons.
God, he's right. But only barely.
And that's
but only barely.
Sad truth of the world that we live in.
I'll just put this though, he's in the top 10 percentile of morons. And look, maybe he's
Amanda doesn't really like the approach Connor wants to take with Hank.
Basically, I decided, remember this is my blind playthrough, I decided that I'm going to adapt to Hank's personality so I can make the investigation smoother. And for some reason, Amanda doesn't like that. Let's just say, Jova, that's the game. Let's just say, Jova, that's the game's way of foreshadowing something that's a plot twist that's going to happen at the end of the game. Let's just say.
Let me guess. Hank is an android.
No,
Okay, Pedro, just so you know, I've seen I Am Robot. I think I have a good idea of what the plot twist is going to be.
Do you mean I, Robot?
Well, all right. We'll see where this goes then.
I Am Robot. That sounds like something a robot would actually say.
It's like, this game is the Jupiter Ascending of video games. It rips up every sci-fi movie and story known to man.
Alright, Joe, time to see what the police station looks like.
It looks...
definitely
like an airport.
There you go. Hank right now is warm towards me, since I did well in the interrogation.
Aww.
Oh, there you go. Here's how androids communicate. They communicate via Bluetooth, I guess, and they present information and shit. Look for Lieutenant Anderson. So let's go find his desk. Alright.
You know, if this were an RPG, we'd have had to do several side quests to get back here, because it turns out that the door is broken, so currently we have to do stuff to pass the time until the door opens. God, David Cage doing an RPG. I don't even want to think about it.
No, please.
He's not gonna do that. He's all about cinematic experiences.
Well, to be fair,
boring RPG.
To be fair, Pedro, one of the most famous JRPGs of all time literally has a cutscene as an attack, so, you know.
Well, to be fair, that's been a thing since Final Fantasy VII introduced its summons.
My point being is like, well, RPGs can have a lot of cinematics, and by God, if David Cage ever wanted an excuse to hear his writing more...
Anyway, yeah, basically, while we're waiting for Hank to arrive at work, we can do various things. We can explore the station to see what things are, or we can check out his desk to see if we can find some information about him. Let's do so. Lieutenant Anderson. There we go.
Boy, the Raccoon City Department really needs to clean up its act.
Do you know what time Lieutenant Anderson usually arrives? Depends on where he was the night before.
Oh, snap. Is that guy looking at a Steam page? I mean, I know that's actually a police department page, but that thing literally looks like Steam. Dude,
I'm sorry, Jova. That clearly looks like an Epic Store game page.
Ew.
God, I can't believe I'm saying this, but they actually got me to root for Steam over Epic with how Epic have been handling things.
Yeah, basically, one thing that you can do is actually just wait there standing on the chair like that. But yeah,
here's some information about Hank that we're gonna learn.
Let's see what he listens to.
9 Inch Nails.
Let's see. There you go. Hank is into heavy metal.
Rock and roll. He is one of the bad guys.
As to be expected, Clancy Brown is incredibly hardcore. So
wait, oh my God, it all makes
sense. He's got the hair for it too.
It all makes sense, guys. Clancy Brown listens to rock and roll. Clancy Brown,
in this case, we literally need to analyze an orgy of evidence.
Well, technically, we don't. This is optional. However, doing this will give you extra information that will open up choices that wouldn't happen otherwise, which would make your job in certain scenes easier.
I mean, that's nice. I mean, I guess unless you're purposely trying to make stuff harder on yourself, it seems like, they might as well just give you the keys. I mean, then again, I guess it's technically like what it would be like if Ace Attorney had multiple routes, but I digress.
This chapter might as well be known as Clancy Brown is sad.
But seriously,
back to analyzing the donuts, please.
Seriously, though, I think I get it now. Clancy Brown listens to rock and roll. Clancy Brown also voices Lex Luthor. Batman views rock and roll as nothing but punk, which is the sound of death, and the rage of a beast, which means that, of course, Lex Luthor is evil.
Red Eyes Task Force. There you go. Turns out Hank was part of the Red Eyes Task Force, where they were trying to take down the whole Red Eyes drug thing.
And I kid you not, sure.
As I said, we have
Saint
Bernard hares. Okay, so apparently Hank owns a Saint Bernard. Okay. The Triple East dismantled a network of red eye dealers, more than 50 arrests throughout the country. The Detroit's finest have dealt a massive blow to the city's growing red eyes epidemic, with a number of high-profile dealers, blah, blah.
Yeah. Young, he looks like he's 50 in that picture.
The basic point of it is that Hank used to be a really, really respected and prolific cop back in his heyday, but since
something bad happened that made him drop down and be a deadbeat cop.
Gee, Jova. Have you played this game before?
Like I've seen Ballistic Exorcist ever in every single police cop drama.
Jova, I'm not sure. How long do cops usually last in your country?
Anyway, it varies from department to department. Let's just say often there is retirement age or whatnot, but some will pull some strings to stay on as long as possible.
No record seizure of red ice in Detroit. Okay.
So
I guess in that was also a contributing factor, the fact that despite his success in dismantling a racket, the Red Eyes eventually returned.
Hey, Hank.
oh, hey, Hank. Come on, you know secretly deep down you like us.
He looks like
oh
he
my
look-
god,
he
he
looks
literally even has the police chief who says, in
Yes.
my office.
Unfortunately,
Looks like-
Jova, he's nowhere near as hilarious as the police chief from Fahrenheit.
That guy looks like Ving Rhames.
what this
He's still the angry police chief stereotype, but unfortunately he's nowhere near as over the top as in Indigo Prophecy.
Holy cow, this feels even more cliched than Last Action Hero, and that movie was supposed to be cliched.
So basically, Joe, the Luther from Mission Impossible became a police chief.
Wait.
So
Clancy
yeah,
Brown also played someone in Mission Impossible called Luther?
No, what about the guy that looks like Ving Rhames?
yeah, he looks like
Buddy,
he
so
kind of looks
Luther-
like Games, yeah.
So Luther is talking to Lex Luthor.
Yeah, the basic gist of it is this. Hank is a homicide detective. However, since there's nobody else... his chief is putting him on the investigation about the deviant androids.
Qualified for this type of investigation. Bullshit.
Let me guess, the Red Eyes and the Deviant Androids are connected.
Yeah, Hank hates androids, so he doesn't want to do it.
Send over this android to help with the investigation. It's a state-of-the-art prototype. It'll act as your partner. No!
Hasn't it already been doing that? Shouldn't he know how this works?
Plastic prick.
But don't you see, Jova, Hank is a defying, raging cop who doesn't take one from them. Just won't take anything like this just sitting in, don't you know?
Mr. Cage, we've already had some development with this guy. Shouldn't this scene have come before we started working with him?
Because it already looks like a fucking nut.
Can we read that, please?
No, Tio, you're right. You realize what you were asking. You were asking to read
Yes,
a
I
novel.
want to laugh at Hank's insults.
Well,
novel written by
sorry,
David
Teo. Sorry, Teo. If this was an Hideo Kojima game, you could read that novel in the extras, but unfortunately, no. Sorry.
But seriously, though, this scene feels out of place. Like, I get that Hank
As
hates
an out-of-play scene, a David Cage game, Jova? Surely you jesting.
You know, if this were Beyond Two Souls, we could have maybe have used the excuse that this scene was supposed to happen before the two cases.
Talk to the Hank.
Talk to the hand, Hank, or Hank hand, whatever.
I do like, however, the contrast between Connor's deadpan delivery and the angry, over-the-top cops.
That is nice.
It makes this particular storyline more enjoyable. It's still bad, don't get me wrong, but at least it's fun to watch. At least. Go ahead.
But hang on.
Hold on, dude. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to interrupt you there, Driz, because we're about to meet Mr. Big Asshole.
Again.
Yes.
Aw, we didn't go into
Because
the media room?
because God forbid we have a decent human being in a David Cage game.
Haven't we met this guy already?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
in the interrogation room.
but check this out. Now he's going to become even more of an asshole, and for no good reason, might I add. Okay, so let's greet him. Let's try introduce.
Introduce.
Yeah.
Kill him with kindness.
Hold on.
Even the poses and everything.
Never seen an android like you before.
What?
Well, remember, Jova,
exactly.
Connor is a brand new model. He's a prototype. So.
But he's seen us before. Why is he acting like this is the first time he's met us?
Well, I don't know.
Some machine's gonna
Bad writing.
replace us all.
They'll take our jobs.
Yes.
Bring me coffee, dipshit.
Could that please at least?
He's a cop android. He doesn't have serving programming, you moron.
I'm sorry, but I only take orders from.
Thank you.
Yeah, but
Oh,
but that's a bit odd though. One minute, Clancy Brown's like, okay, I appreciate this guy. And all of a sudden he's like, fuck you, you plastic shit.
Stay out of my
Actually, he didn't say that directly to Connor. He said it to the chief. Well, remember, Dwebs. He's a very hot-headed cop, so whenever he's angry, he'll just burst out things that he doesn't necessarily mean.
I love how the other cop in the room didn't say a single word.
Thanks,
Not gonna-
thanks, David. That scene added so much to the story. Instead of, that wonderful dose of unpleasantness. Oh, and public
the public opinion is skeptical.
public opinion on androids is skeptical right now. Okay.
This is exposition news.
Basically, yeah.
Pretty much.
I don't understand, David. Why? Why is it so hard for you to create human beings that are not complete piles of garbage? Why?
I think I can answer this. You see, Pedro, he's very insecure about his writing. He feels that if he's not as heavy-handed as possible with his writing, that the message won't go through. See, this is a problem. A lot of people misconceive what really makes people love stories. Like, we get stories like Black Panther, Batman, or 12 Years a Slave, which have nice subtleties in it despite some of the intricacies here. The problem is that some people think,
Painter dies.
The problem is that some people think, hey, if I just exemplify this message to the point where I'm screaming it from the rooftops, that'll make it even more brilliant. Only no, that's not really how it works.
I don't mind that little problem with some here and there as long as the overall experience is good. I like Black Panther despite some pretty dodgy CGI.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The reason Black Panther works is because of the themes and messages.
Although that bad CGI during the final fight scene wasn't.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's also a subtext going on throughout all of this, where the United States are stealthily having another Cold War with Russia. But don't bother. It's not even the integral part of the plot. You only see news of it, that there are dodgy relationship between the President of the United States and the one of Russia.
Well,
See, here's the thing. If the whole point of this were some dystopian future, I get that. But from what I've seen, this isn't really a dystopian future. So, I mean, yeah, United States having another Cold War with Russia. Why should I care if that's not even really the focus of this game? I think David needs to learn.
You just said that.
Oh.
Is there a desk anywhere I could use?
No one's using that one.
Huh.
That's nice.
Let me guess. A partner of yours died. Let me guess. A tune dropped a piano on his head. I mean, a robot dropped a piano on his head.
Don't you mean on his brother's head, Jova?
Well, brother or partner, I mean,
Right.
Eddie's brother was also his partner.
Well,
so you know the drill.
Well, considering a lot of the characters here are cartoons. Yeah.
Exactly.
You listen to heavy metal?
Then why the fuck did you ask?
Oh God. Okay, I have to wonder if that was just a look at Clancy Brown freaking Mike.
Again, I'm dead convinced that at least half of Clancy Brown's performance was improvised.
It's not even just that, Theo. Like I've said, the reason this works is because of the contrast between the two. Connor is a very unassuming, deadpan android, whereas Hank is the exact opposite, and because of that, they clash.
Uh-oh.
Exactly, yeah.
I like dogs.
Aww.
What's it to you?
He's just trying to be your friend.
Sumo. There you go.
Aww.
Aw.
Yeah,
It's a big dog for you.
Well, he's about as big as
He is a big dog, actually.
So let's ask why he's so anti-androids.
Oh, never mind. Sure, I already answered it. I was going to say the answer is
Java?
true.
Is there any reason in particular?
Yeah. Come on, Hank. Why?
Can't we all just
Hey,
go along?
Let's do it.
There is
Let's
one.
do it.
Aw.
Jova,
We're about to keep a secret.
No, Theo. You want to know how to keep a plot point in suspense, Jova? Just ignore it.
And punish you for even daring to ask.
Basically, Jova, this is gonna be the standard reaction for holding on to any plot twist until the game decides they want to.
Okay. Look, David. You don't want us to know what's going on. Fine, but you don't have the character to say, yeah, there is one, and then just say nothing. That just makes them look like a stupid dick.
It's kind of similar. It's kind of similar in Fairfin Seraph, where they keep wondering and asking Pippin what he is, and the game never actually explains it. It just makes fun of us for questioning it.
You know, for comparison's sake, with Justice for All, when they built up to Edgeworth's supposed death, Okay, the way Phoenix veered off topic was that either he was interrupted, so it made sense, or he left vague clues and then pretty much just said, "Oh yeah, he's dead," but then later admitted he was dead just to him. See, that was a proper way of building its way up. Even the people who guessed that Edgeworth wasn't dead kind of already knew.
Fun fact: you can actually check all of the 200 or however the hell many there are by yourself. However, you don't have to suckle through all of them. It's only if you're curious about the various descriptions. For those of you completionists out there who like reading all this stuff, it's there if you want. However, you don't have to. However, you don't have to. You can just suckle through them, and then the game will give you a square prompt to just there you go. Scan all files in micro speeds and shit like that.
I'll admit, it's nice background details here and there. It's just the problem is that the base game itself isn't really that interesting.
And also,
we already established that.
If I recall correctly, hold on.
You know what this reminds me of, though? Quantum Break, which also had a hard-on for background
Yeah, this
text.
is the report against Marcus, I think.
Let's not forget, Joe. Don't forget, Joe. The data logs of Quantum Break led an entire subplot dedicated to a screenplay for some reason.
And there you go. There's Kara too. Basically, your actions with Marcus and Kara gets reflected here because they technically killed someone with their actions. Well, not in case of Marcus, but it was set up for it. So there you go. They show up here, and I think we're gonna be. Well, there you go.
There you go.
Part of investigation.
That's it. 243. You can actually check all 243 of them individually if you want. However, the game doesn't require you to. You can just hold square.
It's very compulsive to let you see all of them.
Well, it's nice for those who are.
Oh no, I like that. I just found it amazing in its own way.
The sad thing is that David Cage just put his writing to good use. This could have been all for the better.
Or even better, stop being a writer altogether. Just become a producer and let someone with actual talent do this.
But we all know he's never going to give up on
Direct,
that.
aggressive, professional understanding. That's an understanding.
He has too much of an ego for that.
Here's the thing. He makes even M. Night Shyamalan and his work look like he is a...
Yeah, you need to move past your issues.
Talk to me like you know me. I don't need your
And I will not be your...
Can you hear that, Joe? I think he's a tsundere.
I will totally
Not
not be
like
your
I know
friend
you
by the end of
anything,
this game.
Baka.
Yeah, basically. This is actually what I got legitimately angry. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to tell this to Anko. Come, just work. It's your job. And there you go. There you go. See, that caused him to decrease from warm to neutral. There you go.
So,
Like he was that warm to you earlier.
Fun fact. Fun fact. Well, you don't want him to show affection to Connor in public now, do you? Fun fact: if by the end of the game you haven't made yourself Hank's friend, he will commit suicide by the end of the game.
Oh, lovely.
Well, that's dark.
It's because
I don't even know the context.
Well, there's going to be a context. So basically, because of his tragic past, Hank has completely lost the will to live, but he doesn't actually have the balls to pull the trigger, if you know what I mean. However, the way you can change his fate is by if Hank sees Connor's humanity, as in, eventually Connor has a possibility.
There is your humanity, yeah.
Yeah, if Hank eventually... Okay, think of it like Sarah Connor. You know how Sarah Connor's final narration in Terminator 2, if a machine, a Terminator, can see the value of human life, maybe we can too. That's what Sarah learned in Terminator 2. It's kind of similar here. If Hank realizes that the androids are capable of empathy, he starts, if machines can, maybe there is hope for us as well. It's kind of like that,
I just want to remind you guys that in 19 years, this will apparently be our future.
Sure.
Yep, in just 19 years.
Yeah, just like Ace Attorney was predicting our future by having holograms and whatever.
Well, you gotta admit, Pedro, they did predict that in 2016 we'd have a murder court case with a parrot as a witness.
And yet, Jova, where exactly are my auto-lacing shoes in 2015 exactly? Because I
don't think Ace Attorney ever predicted that.
I'm talking about Back to the Future too.
Hell, Star Trek is also the major culprit in all of this.
Well,
so actually, Pedro, the technology is there if the Vocaloid and Splatoon concerts are anything to go by. We could have holograms in courtrooms.
And we do have holograms in concerts.
I still want my flying overboard, though.
I think we actually do have a flying hoverboard.
That's nice.
Just, not an obvious one. And yeah, we have androids that deliver mail.
Well, it makes sense. Remember, Joe, but the whole reason androids were invented was to take care of all the boring jobs and tasks that humans don't really want to do anymore.
Well, the thing is that
Also,
with
to do the
drones, you
complex
still get
things
to
that humans
activate
don't have
them.
the precision to do.
True.
That's why Gavin is so hostile towards Connor, because now that CyberLife started factoring android cops, he's also afraid of losing his job being replaced by an android, like a lot of people in this world have already been.
You know what this game could have done, actually? Actually look at the controversies of what jobs robots should be taking up.
Hold on, Joe, but let me mention this.
Dramatic haircut time.
Basically, Kara is going to cut her hair for the sake of being able to disguise herself better. And here's an interesting thing, Jova. Apparently, the androids have a function where they can alter their hair color. And here's an interesting thing. You can choose either blonde Kara, which is the Kara that you saw in the original 2015 launch trailer, that when the game was first revealed, or you can choose black if you prefer original short Kara. So Jova, which would you prefer?
Or also white.
Or also, those are the colors as well. Yeah, white.
I guess the black one makes her look the most like Alice from Twilight, so go with the white one.
Well, that's the thing, Jova. I decided to go with original tech demo Kara, since that's the one we prefer anyway, so I figured you guys would prefer if
Makes sense.
Sure, let's do it. Oh wait, never mind. You're trying white.
I think, if I remember correctly, I'm just trying all of them just so I can show them off, I think.
Yeah.
Remember, this is what you're seeing here is a blind playthrough, so I'm literally just kind of browsing through these, basically.
You know what? Go ahead with black. The white one doesn't even look that interesting.
The blonde one is actually
It's also grey, not white.
And yet they call it white for some reason.
The blonde version is actually the one that's actually canon to the game itself, because if you take a look at the trailers of the game, Kara is using this hairstyle. So never mind. I went with the blonde one. Yeah, never mind. It was never mind. It was Shiroi that went with Tech Demo Kara. That's it. Sorry, I'm confusing both playthroughs.
Oh, and look at that! Now she's doing that whole rip out thing again. Why don't most deviants do this? Like,
not just that, Jova. Again, who the hell thought it was a good idea to just make the LEDs so easily removable? Makes it so easy for androids to,
stealthily disguised as humans.
Okay. Was Skynet behind the making of these androids? That would explain a lot.
Well, Jova, technically speaking, if you don't remember, Jova, the RoboCop versus Terminator Frank Miller comic kind of tells that RoboCop is behind the Skynet apocalypse.
There you go, Jova. This is actually the first time in the game where two of our three storylines actually cross. Right now in this chapter, we're playing as both Kara and Connor. So Connor right now is actually looking for us. So we have to run away. It's kind of like in Indigo Prophecy, where Lucas was always running away, and at the same time you were always controlling Carla, who was investigating, looking after you.
Yeah, like there was also that point with Lucas and Tyler too.
Anyway, but the basic gist of it is that I decided to go with blonde Kara, because if you take a look at the promotional material, Kara is actually using the blonde hair color. So this is the canon one, apparently, so I went with the canon one.
It is neat that androids can change their hair color and whatnot.
Well, it makes sense, Joe. Let's say, for example, the sex androids. Yes, there are sex androids. Even we're gonna even.
Yes, I know. Different hair colors for different turn-ons.
Like basically, okay. Today I feel like nailing a blonde. Can you switch your hair to blonde? Okay, fine. There you go.
Brrr. Surely androids have a special thing in their arms that allows them to heat stuff up.
Not this one, apparently.
Don't worry. Actually, Jova, I'll get back to you about the whole Android temperature thing later. Not now, but way later. We'll get back to that.
Oh, that's right.
This is to be interesting.
I forgot about that.
It's not. Spoilers, it's not. It's just a little curious trait.
Yeah.
But we'll get to it. For now, let's just move on. Basically, yeah, the cops are looking for us, so we can't stay here. We have to run away.
Aww.
There you go.
Is
See?
she now?
That's the thing, Jova. She always says that no matter what color you pick.
I get that, but she can't even see what her hair looks like under that hat, so...
That's a good point. Well, she can see a little bit of the hair in the front. There's a little bit of it sticking out, to be fair.
Yes, because that is clearly how you tell if somebody looks pretty with their current hairdo, by only being able to
and
see
the
the
beanie on
tiniest
top of
little
it.
bits
To be fair, she's a little girl. I don't think she has the the
Oh,
same.
there's Connor inside the laundry.
I don't think she has the same kind of high standards that we have, Jova.
I would agree with that, except she's a girl aged by circumstance in the sense that, you know, when your parents both either abandon or die on you at an early age and your father kind of hits you all like that.
Hold on.
Again, it just feels like Clancy Brown commentating on how bad the script is.
It took the first bus that came along.
You see, Dwebs, you have to realize that Tank is at Tsundere, and Tsunderes are always trying to hide their real feelings.
Androids don't feel
Babaka.
Yeah, exactly.
I swear to God, Rumiko Takahashi popularized that trait. And even though I still do like her works, god dang, can it get annoying.
Are you there, Dwebs, by the way? Or is it still burp? Okay. Oh, well, okay, I have to give credit here. Look at the water on Connor's face. It looks amazing. Like seriously, the
Yes.
dripping effect. Like, no, okay, no, well, I'm just trying to give credit where credit is due.
Oh, no, I get it. It's just like, well, I feel like we already praised the graphics and even the water before.
But that particular shot of Connor's face, where we literally see every drop and it looks so realistic, that's pretty impressive. Again, this game, at the very least, is a really brilliant showcase for the PlayStation consoles, at least.
Okay, Pedro, I do agree with you on that, but can I just also mention how sad it is that this is kind of the biggest high point we've got? Is a bit of water dripping down an android's face.
Well, it's not like David Cage games are the only one. Remember, Joe, Final Fantasy 14 was also kind of the game for its time, where it was the prettiest game ever made at the time, but, well, that's it. It was all pretty and nothing else.
I mean, at least 13 was...
A game, I know, but a shitty game, still.
Not only that, I'll say this, 13 had a better story than a lot of David Cage plots. Not gonna lie.
No,
I mean, that doesn't make it
It did have
good,
Saz, so, yeah, I guess.
It had Saz, who was actually, you know, a nice, consistent one. And some of the characters actually did get better character development. Shame that the sequels kind of screwed that over, but I digress.
Okay, the basic point is, this is stealth. A sequence where we try to get our past and not be seen by the cops. Notice the danger level. Basically, we have to make sure the danger level doesn't reach 100%, so we have to try our best to stay hidden. However, this is a David Cage game, so obviously the stealth is incredibly scripted. Basically, just keep
Also, the hiding places are incredibly shit.
to give you an idea, Jova, Shirei managed to do this stealth section first try, no problem.
Wait, we really?
Yes.
Seriously?
Shirei?
No, I mean, just look at the hiding places specifically.
Okay, how does this even work?
Like that one kid who hides behind a lamppost in hide and seek and expects not to be seen.
Like, seriously, I mean, your danger levels were literally at 99%, yet, that doesn't really matter.
It only matters if it reaches 100, Jova.
That's not conspicuous at all, now is it? Like, holy cow. Seriously?
You'd think there'd be some kind of penalty, though, for having it even at 99, but no.
Like, I'm confused, honestly. Is there even a point? Should I even care? It seems like you have to go out of your way to actually get spotted.
Shiroi, Jova, what do you think this is? Metal Gear? Come on. Like,
Holy cow, even Beyond Two Souls had a better stealth section.
No, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. For the stealth in Beyond Two Souls didn't even have a danger meter. It was literally... You could literally not... At least you can actually fail at this if you want.
Oh, no. I mean, you could actually fail at the stealth at Beyond Two Souls without it being intentional. Heck, I got caught during that bit.
Bus stop window, by the way.
But remember, Jova, if you get caught in the stealth training sections, you just start over. At least in here, failing actually has consequences.
Pedro, I'm not talking about that stealth section. I'm talking about the stealth section where, you know, Jody is trying to sneak out with Iden's help, you know, to go... I believe it's the other girls chapter.
Oh, no. That's not the stuff. I think you're probably thinking of the military chapter where she's infiltrating the country of Somalia. That's probably...
Oh, no. I'm talking about the one where she's trying to sneak out of the military base to go have a girls' night out.
Yeah, but that's not a stealth section at all. Like, you just have to trick the guard. There's no stealth involved.
Depends.
In case you're wondering... In this chapter, it's possible for both Kara and Connor to die. if you know what you're doing. Because it triggers, if you know how to play, you trigger basically a chase scene, and there's the possibility of both getting killed or just one of them.
Oh,
okay.
Look at that. The android thinks it's a mom.
Okay. On the one hand, I get maybe they made it easy so that first timers who want to actually proceed with everything being fine can get
That's what the casual mode is for, though. This is the normal mode.
Yeah.
Wait, this is a normal mode?
Shira was playing
Yeah.
Shira played on casual mode, but I'm playing it on experienced mode.
Okay,
You
then.
can see there are a lot of choices that could happen
Regardless
here.
of what mode I played on, the hiding places were still shit.
No. That particular stealth section, Shira, is always the same regardless of mode. The casual mode mostly makes some QTEs easier. It blocks certain death scenarios and makes the investigation scenes easier by telling you where each hotspot is, basically. The casual mode is literally like that. It's for the soccer moms, that because David thinks that games should still be accessible to even soccer moms and stuff like that.
Like, why not just make it that if somebody gets caught, they get the choice to either try the chapter over or just go forward with the story.
Because he has a specific story to tell.
Well, to be fair, Jova, isn't it much better for for your failure to turn the story around to a different direction rather than just have to repeat the section over and over?
No. I mean, giving players the option whether or not they want to go through with it or if they want to try over for the better ending. As opposed to having to then replay up to that point again.
I guess, but at the same time, let's say, for example, you're trying to play the game in a way that, okay, I'm not going to try to retry, I'm just going to live with any possible mistakes that I make and just roll with it, for the sake of giving...
well, then just add a certain mode.
That's how I tend to play.
Because...
Yeah.
But, I mean, because if you're just going to retry every single time a particular thing doesn't please you, I mean, you might as well, the whole point of games like these and... Walking Dead and stuff like that is that you make your choices and you commit to them and you have to pay for whatever wrong choices you might have made, and that's part of the experience, I would argue. I mean,
no. I get that. What I'm going off is the supposed mentality that's going on here. Like, I don't understand why they make that stealth situation so stupidly easy unless he really wants to make it so that it's up to the player.
Yes, sorry, I guess I ended up missing the rest of the...
Yes. But anyway, like I was saying, remember, Hank, it's a tsundere, and tsunderes never reveal their true feelings. So that's why he was.
We know how much he likes tsunderes.
We know how much he likes Connor, Dwez, but he's never going. But he's never going to show it. Come on.
Did I miss anything of import?
Here's the percentages of it. Connor was looking for Kara, but Kara managed to escape via a stealth section. That's basically it.
So nothing then.
All right, see you for next week, everybody.
Brilliant. See ya.
Yeah.